I want you to go outside right now. And I can assume that most of you watching this are probably indoors right now. So, this is your call to action. After you finish watching this, I want you to go outside and go on a walk. Only if you're able to, of course. I mean, it's a no-brainer, but walking is genuinely one of the best things you can do for yourself. But you might be thinking, what are you on about? This is just basic common sense. Everyone knows going on walks is good for you. So what's the point in making a video about it? And before I answer that, I want to quickly interrupt to ask all of you to subscribe if you haven't already. Thank you very much. Anyway, onto the video. The reason why I'm making a video advising people to do something that many just see as common sense is because many people, maybe you included, don't actually do these very simple things. So I'm hoping that this video can push you into making that first step. Now, I often see people dismissing advice for a variety of reasons. It could be incredibly hard for them to actually do, or it might not actually be feasible for them, like based on their current circumstances, and so on. Now, I understand these, and all of them are completely valid. However, the one that just annoys me a bit is when people will dismiss advice and say something along the lines of, that's just common sense, everyone does that. It's not exactly good advice, is it? And my issue with this is that it's not something that everyone does. We all have different routines, different habits, and different starting points. For you, going on walks might be something that's incredibly basic, or something you already do. If so, then that's amazing, good for you. However, not everybody's going to be there yet. Additionally, it also ignores one of the biggest things to note about habit building, because consistently going on walks is a habit, mind you. And that big thing is that it's a very, very slow process. You're making your first step here, not your first leap. You don't need to start by going all out at once. Ease yourself into it very slowly, because you might suffer from burnout if you go too hard right at the beginning. Small and easy to do habits, like consistently going on walks, are an amazing first step. Also, you might be wondering, why pick walking as a habit? Well, walks also have a large variety of positive effects. One of the biggest ones is around health, and this is not just physical health, but mental as well. It provides benefits of improved heart health. It can help with cholesterol levels, blood pressure, energy, overall mood, and your state of mind. And also, it can help a lot with productivity. Speaking of, yeah, I know I've not exactly been making any videos recently. I kind of hit a mental block with it. But if you're watching this, then hey, I guess I'm out of it. Or getting out of it. I'm not giving up, by the way. I know at the start of this is going to be an incredibly bumpy road for me, and this to me is just one of the many bumps that this path has. This does have relevance to what I've just been talking about. Just lend me a second of your time. So, how did I start getting myself out of this bump? I think the big thing for me was to first acknowledge and recognize that I'd hit a wall creatively, then find a way to boost my motivation, and finally get into routine with this boosted motivation and not distract myself from it. Luckily, I've gotten better at managing my distractions, and also it was very easy for me to recognize the situation. I wasn't really in denial, which was very good. However, this lent its own issue as I began beating myself up about it. This was because even though I wanted to, I couldn't actually bring myself to do it. I had to find a way to boost my productivity. Now, I've already discussed this issue of a lack of motivation in my first ever video. I gave some advice in the video, like trying to change your perspective on it, aka don't worry about hypotheticals. I also talk about ways to help with managing dopamine, like for example the strategy of depriving yourself of all activity for a few minutes. And while that can and has worked in the past for me, it's not exactly a nice thing to do, since it can make me feel pretty uncomfortable while doing it, because I mean that's the point of it. But the issue is that this uncomfortable feeling afterwards, it kind of made me put up mental hurdles around this strategy, which, keep in mind, I was only doing to get rid of my own mental hurdles. So as you can imagine, it was very counterintuitive. And this is where going on walks comes into play. While sure it may take a bit longer to do than the other method, which lasts only for a few minutes, it is, in my opinion, vastly superior. This is because, as I said, the first plan isn't the nicest. I mean, it can get the job done, but you don't exactly feel that good afterwards. It can honestly be like a form of mild torture if you're really addicted to short form content. However, the alternative of walking in nature is an incredibly fulfilling and lovely experience. It's not uncomfortable in the slightest, therefore no mental hurdles. It helped me out a lot by actually getting me into a productive mood afterwards, which then meant that I was actually able to complete the work that I needed to do. I've always gone on walks, but recently I've tried to get more into it. I've literally been on one earlier today, right before I started making this video, and even though I feel a little bit tired from it, I feel amazing. And I do know that some of you watching this may not have access to nature nearby, but even still, go outside and it will help you out. Whether it's a short 15-minute stroll or a full-on hike, you'll feel a lot better after it. Now, I feel like I do have an obligation to say that walking is obviously not a cure for major things, like depression for example, and I've often seen it used as one. Depression is a disease. A short walk won't cure you from it. If you are suffering from this, then please get some help. I'd recommend professional, but if you can't or don't want to, then at least make sure that you have somebody to talk to about it. Walking isn't a cure-all thing, but it will improve your overall mood and if you're feeling maybe a bit groggy or upset. But it's not magic. It's an incredible first step. It's an amazing foundation, but it's a building block. Now, I know this video may not apply to everyone, mainly those who may already have walking as a routine. I guess the takeaway from this is just to take the next step in your life. Make sure it's small and easy. I decided to pick going on walks this video, just because I know a lot of people might stay indoors quite a bit, so going on walks is a great first step that can get people outside, and also could maybe even lead into people doing extra things like regularly exercising for example. But if you're already going on walks, then I want you to find and make a small change in your own life and really stick to it. This could be a good sleep schedule, a healthier diet. It's just something, you're looking for something easy, not too hard. And when I say stick to it, I really mean it. You need to fully conquer it. This is why it needs to be relatively simple, relatively easy, and you absolutely must have clear goalposts that you don't shift. If you're getting close to completing a goal, then you create a new goal once you've finished, not before you have, once you've finished. This is so important because that sense of accomplishment that you'll get after you complete a goal is king. When you complete one of your goals, like walking consistently, you will feel incredible and it will motivate the shit out of you. Think of it like a productivity avalanche, I guess. Like, you've got to start incredibly small and then slowly it will start building from there. Now, I hope this has been of use to you if you're watching. I want to be able to motivate you to make the first step, because it's obviously the hardest one to make. If I'm able to do that for at least one person, then I'd feel happy. So to summarise, make sure your first step is nice and easy, like going for walks, and you'll easily be able to get into the flow of things and start making progress within your own life. Anyway, thank you very much for watching. It's a little bit of a shorter video, and I very much appreciate it if you're here at the end of the video. I really hope that you've liked it. If you have anything to say about this specific topic and how it maybe relates to you, or the video itself, then please leave a comment below. Constructive criticism is always greatly appreciated. Anyway, I'll be leaving now, so if you're still here, then please go touch some grass. Get yourself outside. Anyway, goodbye everybody, I'll see you all soon.